Let me give you a little bit of background. I'm getting out of the military. It's about 3 months before getting out. I take the E6 exam. I miss it by 2 points, which is like one question on the test. It's a 3-hour test. Miss it. So I'm going into my next command, leaving Assault Craft Unit 1, going into my next command as an E5 instead of an E6, which is there's less options. There's a place for me to go in Japan and be a tugboat guy, and I was kind of digging that, but that was really the only thing that was cool on the list. And the Navy said, no, you're going to be a recruit division commander at boot camp in Great Lakes, Illinois. I said, nope. But ever since I crossed the blue line, I'm like, man, that was the life for me. In fact, I just talked to my chief not too long ago, my chief from the USS Rodney M. Davis, and chief goes, Benny, you should have stayed in the U.S. military. And I said, yeah, you're right. I should have stayed. I was stupid. But, my personal life was in shambles also, going through a lot there. There was a lot going on, a big mountain of crap on my shoulders. And I was like, all right, I'm just going to start something new and go for it from there. And I've missed it ever since. I'm going to be honest. I missed it ever since. Not so much the cool stuff, not so much the shooting guns and all that stuff, but there's a lot more that you will get out of the U.S. military and that you will love. And here's the list. The number one thing that I miss about being in the U.S. military is travel. Now, the U.S. Navy travels way more than the other branches. The Air Force would probably be second. Marines would probably be third, and then the Army fourth in the big four. We went all over the place. If you're on a smaller ship like a destroyer or a cruiser, you're going to stop a lot on your deployments. So we saw a lot of places, and I listed them out. Hawaii, I went there 4 times. I'd never been to Hawaii before. I know it's a state, but Hawaii is like a different country. The food is different. Everything's different. Like you go to McDonald's in Hawaii and they have rice and like different types of sausages and stuff. It's just different. So yeah, I considered it kind of a different place. Another place is it's a U.S. territory, Guam. I went there twice. Guam was like a mini version of Hawaii. They have resorts and beautiful beaches and white sand, and it's pretty cool. Singapore, I went 4 times. Singapore is like the biggest party in the world, basically. The opulence is off the charts, and the food and the partying, and it's just a beautiful place. It's a lot of sailors there, but it's for hundreds and hundreds of years. Singapore has been this like gathering place for mariners and people in the sea, and I loved it. I love Singapore. Thailand was wild. They bring you right to the heartland of the debauchery, and we went crazy in Thailand. We got to go to a couple places that were really unique, like an abandoned island got hit by a tsunami, and there was this resort there. We got to walk around this abandoned resort. It was really cool, but Thailand was cool. It's a little bit more touristy. Like they have different types of foods and stuff, but you can get pizza and hamburgers just about anywhere. That was okay. Indonesia, very very decrepit place. A lot of poverty there, but it was a very great learning experience. And Indonesia has some of the most beautiful terrain on earth. Sri Lanka was pretty cool. It was small. We just stayed on the little islands. We didn't really get to explore much of Sri Lanka besides the training. We were training their special forces there. It was still cool. Djibouti, I technically didn't do much in Djibouti, but I had one of the Marines videotaped a tour of Djibouti, and you got to kind of see what the flavor is there. Not much there, but it's still cool. England I went to, was there for 8 hours, no big deal. Afghanistan, awesome. Maldives, probably the most beautiful place on earth. Turkey, Brunei wasn't much, but it was, again, a new experience, a new place, new culture, new food. Oman was okay. Bikini Islands, it's not a country, but it's a place on our earth that we used to blow up atomic bombs there, and but anyway, there's some beautiful islands. The water is beautiful. We did some pirate hunting down there. Dubai, Japan, a bunch of places, bunch of new states. So yeah, went all over the place. I mean, all those places in 6 years. So that is awesome. And since I got out of the military, I haven't been nowhere. A couple states. I've been to Florida, New York, a couple places, but definitely haven't gone out of the country since I've been out of the military. So I miss that. I miss that going into a new country, new smells, new culture, new food. It's a blast. My second favorite thing about being in the U.S. military was you always have a place to lay your head. Whether maybe you get kicked out of the house. Maybe you're coming from a place where you're living in some trailer park and homeless, and you understand how important it is to have a warm place to sleep and a pillow and all that stuff. And I heard that a lot, and I got to appreciate that from my fellow sailors. Is like, we always have a place, whether it's on the ship or whatever. You always have a house. You always have a roof on your head. That is a humongous deal because military people are not rich. In addition to that, you got a roof over your head. You also have 3 meals a day, 4 meals a day. You have breakfast, lunch, and dinner. The kitchen does not close on a warship. And you also have mid-rats. So if you're working at night, midnight rations. It's not the greatest meal, but if you work over throughout the night, you're going to get lunch at midnight. And so your dinner becomes breakfast, your midnight rations becomes lunch, and then breakfast becomes dinner. It's a weird thing, but what I'm trying to say is there's food on the table constantly. And again, disadvantaged youth, disadvantaged folks, this is a big deal for service members. Things that I miss about the U.S. military. Number 3, camaraderie. Teammates, teamwork, working with diverse groups, people that you probably wouldn't work with in your regular life. You might have some dude working with you that's from Ecuador or Africa or something like that. There's a lot of people that join the military to get citizenship. You get to just learn about these different cultures, and it's really cool. I grew up in Tucson, Arizona. It's pretty much just white and Mexican. So I got to experience the cultures of so many different people, and not only that is coming together, bringing these cultures together for one goal, and that's deployment and coming home from deployment. And I miss that a lot. Things that I miss about the U.S. military. Number 4, the sea. I miss the sea desperately. I long for the sea. I dream about the sea. The sunsets were just unbelievable at the sea. So if you're having a bad day, and to be honest with you, during the daytime, the sea is not too fun to be around. It's just blue. Just blue. Your ship is great, and then it's blue. But sunset, sunrise, and you see some of the most amazing sunsets that you can ever see on Earth. I miss that a lot. I miss the rocking of a ship. I mean, you talk about sleeping. Some of the best sleep that you'll ever get is on a warship. I miss the sea. That's number 4. Things I miss about being in the military. Number 5, machines. Helicopters. Semis. $1 million boats, $1 billion warships. You're going to be in some of the coolest machines ever built. And you're going to go at speeds that you cannot go legally as a civilian. It's a blast. You're going to love the machines that you're going to be on. And the travel is going to be unique almost every time. And I really miss being in those gas-guzzling, raw, greasy machines. Things I miss about being in the military. Number 6, the uniform. When you're in your uniform, especially your dress uniform, and you're walking around outside of the base, it is a special feeling. People look at you differently. They will pick up your tab. They will congratulate you. They will thank you for your service. You feel like you are somebody. And for a lot of us, we weren't anybody before we got in the military. So having that badge of honor, like people respecting you because of that uniform that you're wearing and the history behind it, it's a great feeling, and I miss that feeling. Things I miss about being in the military. Number 7, exercise. Most commands will build in exercise into the work schedule, which is a gigantic help. Your production as a worker becomes 10 times more efficient. And let me give you an example here. I check into my command, USS Rodney N. Davis, and we are in-serve in San Diego. We are stationed in Everett, Washington. In-serve is the preparation of the ship before it goes on deployment. And we are all just struggling. And then our captain, who's now Captain Whalen, he's now a rear admiral. He built in 2 hours of working out around our lunch, so we can go lunch and work out every day. And when that happened, everything changed on the warship. Everybody was getting after it way more. We were all more happy. There was less black eyes. It was a great situation. Then at Assault Craft Unit 1, before we mustered at 9. 7 to 9 is workout time. So constantly working out really just changes who you are as a worker. And I miss that. Most jobs don't encourage that. Most jobs don't build that into the schedule. So that's number 7. Things that I miss about being in the military. Number 8, liberty and leave. In the U.S. military, you're going to have 30 days off, paid leave per year. That's pretty sweet. Show me a job, any other job in America that lets you have 30 days of paid leave a year, and I'm going to submit a resume to that place. Things that I miss about being in the military. Number 9, leadership. It's one of the most rich and rewarding experiences to get a kid from a disadvantaged background, from a crappy upbringing. They've made the decision to come to the United States military, to change their life, to get a big old pot of money to use for school. And if you can help that person advance and realize those goals, it is one of the most rewarding experiences you can have as a human being. Top 10 things I miss about being in the United States military. Number 10, money. Most people that join the military do not come from means. That's okay. My last year in the U.S. military, I cleared $24,000 with the IRS. What the IRS doesn't worry about is the housing allowance that I was getting from the Navy. I had a house with a pool on the beach. I also got a food stipend, $350 a month. That goes straight into the pocket. If I need to eat, I'm going to the ship. If I need to eat, I'm going to the galley or the DFAC. Money is easily stackable in the U.S. military. In addition to that, one of the most amazing things that the U.S. military does is they lay out exactly how you can make more money, and that's advancement. If you're not a dirtbag, you show up on time, you work your butt off, you don't complain, you do your studying, you get your qualifications, you're going to advance. It's not hard. Advance, more money. Advance, more money. There are senior enlisted people that make hundreds of thousands of dollars. It's not a bad gig, considering. I'm just thinking of something, number 11. This is a bonus thing that I like, and I think you'll like it too. But most bases, especially big bases, they have commissaries, which means food's cheaper. They have restaurants, it's going to be cheaper. They have bars, cheaper beer. They have entertainments, they have movie theaters. A movie theater, you have a bigger base like in San Diego or in Norfolk, Virginia, you got movie theaters, and they'll run movies, first premiere it on the base for free before they actually hit the theaters. That's a pretty cool thing. One of the funny things when you go to those movies, you have to stand up and do like the Pledge of Allegiance or something. I don't know. That's one of the things. It's cool though. It's like a full tilt movie theater. That's pretty cool. Yeah, electronics. They'll have like all kinds of electronics, and you're gonna have something in the Navy called the Navy Exchange, and they have that in every branch. But yeah, so everything in the Navy Exchange is gonna be cheaper than it would be at Walmart. So it's kind of a good deal, man. They want you to save money. They want you to stay on base and not go out and blow your money. A lot of people get in trouble, caught up. They blow money. They get that first paycheck and go buy a Dodge Charger, and they get in trouble a little bit with that. But it's mostly just awesome. You'll get your paychecks, stash your paychecks, advance, buy, kick ass. And you're going to have a heck of a time. You're going to go travel the world. You're going to drive awesome machines. You're going to meet great people. Okay, that's it. Top 10 things I miss. There's going to be things that you hate. There's going to be things that you detest. I think that the travel and all the other stuff that you get to do, the people, the awesome times, they are going to eclipse the bad times in the military. And you will always hold that as a badge of honor. And even the most disgruntled service members in the act, when they're active, they get out of the military and then they're hanging a flag in their front yard. You're going to have a pride for your country that is unmistakable. So that's it. Have a great day.